At high-tech centers around the country, cybersecurity experts work around the clock to fight online attacks. It's not just viruses they have to deal with. One of the major threats today comes from hackers who break into home PCs and literally take them over. In just a few hours, a determined hacker can gain control of hundreds of thousands of personal computers. If your personal computer is connected to the internet, it can be assaulted up to 50 times a night by intruders attempting to gain control of it.
It's pretty easy to break into unprotected computer systems.
Dr. Andrew McPherson consults for the Department of Homeland Security.
Hackers would use a scanning tool to go onto the network and find computers that show their operating system, show that they're unprotected. And then they would choose appropriate attack tools to break into those computers. And then once they've done that, they would use those computers for any number of purposes.
A hacker could launch what's called a bot attack. He programs hundreds of thousands of hijacked computers to send a barrage of messages to one website simultaneously.
One example might be before a big game, he might go to a gambling website and shut them down by targeting that gambling website with all of his computers and flooding his gambling computers by requests from all these other computers in his botnet. Then he might try and extort, they might try and extort money from that gambling website saying, hey, if you don't give us this money, we're not turning off this attack.
A bot attack can overload a website with 24 gigabytes of data per second. That amount of information is equal to all the books that could fit in the back of a pickup truck.
Clearly, unprotected computer networks can't withstand that type of botnet attack when hundreds or even hundreds of thousands of computers are steered against them.
Yet a bot attack is the cyber version of jaywalking compared to what may be coming.
The real threat that we see is from other nation states who could harness their understanding of the electronic infrastructure. For example, they might cut undersea cables where traffic was, put viruses into command and control systems, disrupt the infrastructure that supports our military. Any cyber threat group.
More than 20 nations are already developing computer attack programs. And every day, McPherson's team gathers new information on potential threats to America's cybersecurity.
In the future, we're going to need a lot more people to protect our infrastructure. We're going to need engineers. We're going to need people like me, researchers. It's always going to be an arms race. The good guys are going to figure out new and creative ways to use information technology for our economy and so forth, and the bad guys are always going to figure out ways to try and circumvent that technology.
Grandpa!
Polly, over here!
Grandpa! Grandpa!
That's your shark.
Gramps, you need to help me. I used your old trick, and then I just attached it to the shark, so we could fly across
With
the
my old virus?
Gramps, Mom thinks it was you. They're looking for you. Gramps, please help me.
Paul, you didn't go online using your own computer, did you?
Yes.
You know, they'll find your data on the system just as soon as they reboot it.
Can you fix it?
You've crashed the entire network. To fix it, I'd have to access the Central City server. They've got more security than the Pentagon. There's only one thing we can do. Come on.
Bank robber or missing person, the city of the future will have intelligent surveillance systems that can track down anyone, anywhere, anytime. Across the city, data networks are collapsing.
The entire city is shut down. We need to seal up all the...
Only a few key sectors still function, thanks to separate networks that keep them virus-free.
Find him now. Bring him into custody.
Police are using thousands of surveillance cameras to search for the hacker.
Mixture of satellite and terrestrial cameras, okay?
Okay, start with the outskirts.
And go.
Nations around the world are installing millions of surveillance cameras to protect their citizens. And Great Britain is leading the way with 4.2 million surveillance cameras that can photograph each citizen 300 times a day. Now, that may sound excessive, but public acceptance rises every time they capture a terrorist or a child abductor. Now, these cameras have limitations. They can basically record, but they cannot identify. That's why computer scientists are now building the next generation of intelligent camera surveillance systems.
London's hundreds of thousands of surveillance cameras paid off in the summer of 2005 when video footage helped police track down terrorists who had bombed city buses. But even the world's best system has a blind spot. Each camera acts alone. There's no way to track a subject when he moves out of the range of one camera and into the range of another. So, Dr. Dimitrios Makris and his team at Kingston University are developing a computerized network of cameras that talk to each other.
Okay, can you see the cameras? They are around. Okay.
The software is designed to predict the path of a suspect, then alert the rest of the system to his probable course.
You can see here how the person is being tracked by our software. The red box shows where the person is currently located. The black box shows where the person will soon be.
Okay, James, can you start it now? Thank you.
Makris tests the system.
You can go now.
The subject is tracked by camera 1. He walks out of view. But thanks to the computer program, camera 2 finds him, and then camera 3. The cameras are talking to each other. That's just the beginning. Now, let's up the ante. What if the cameras could not just track him, but identify him and pick him out of a data bank? Henning Daum and his team are on the verge of making this possible with an ingenious face recognition system.
With regular 2D images like these, the actual identification of a person is nearly impossible. Let's take this image as an example. The person is looking down and is lit from the side. In this picture, the same person is looking up and lit more strongly. It's very difficult to identify a person on the basis of these two images as the same one.